On today's episode of the Miami Geeks Weekly Movie Updates, Disney Blocked Johnny Depp, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous trailer reveals Season 2, and some other thing there which is kind of odd, which is WandaVision explains where the X-Men have been. Well, we're going to find out all this and much more on today's episode of the Miami Geeks Weekly Movie Updates. Stay tuned. Yo, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Miami Geeks Weekly Movie Updates, brought to you by DigitalCrackNetwork.com. I'm your host, Punch305, and with me as always, old school movie specialist, Uncle Willie.
You okay there?
Yeah.
You all right there?
Yeah, and just for the people out there that don't understand what the hell Willie is saying, I choked 700 times saying Johnny Depp. All thanks to Willie, because of one of our episodes when we said Johnny Derp, which it fucked me up, and I couldn't even say his last name ever because of Willie. Thanks, Willie.
It's my fault that you don't know how to pronounce names.
Yeah, it is. It's actually all your fault.
Anything else you want to blame me for? Like, World War One? Is that my fault too?
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it makes sense.
You're sounding like an ex-wife.
You know what? I'm not even trying to take that shit because
take it like the ex-wife did.
Oh fuck! You know what, man? Fucking A. This episode is brought to you by D2D. Use promo code MIAGeeks10 to save 10% on your next purchase order. That's MIAGEEKS10. All in caps. Description down below, guys. All you gotta do is copy the promo code, click on the link, put it in the shopping cart, and that's 10% saved. Also, we have timestamps included within the description down below, which if you guys are interested to hear another story that we're going to be talking about, by all means, you can click on it. But if you want to listen to the full podcast, that's even better, and we thank you for that. And as always, make sure to hit like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button just to know when we come with this amazing news, which is 3 times a week. 2 gaming podcasts at the beginning and the end of the week, and 1 movie podcast smack that in the middle. Guys, we have some special announcements. This week will be the last week of our show for 2020. And we will return on January 4th, of course, for our gaming podcast that week, and so on. So we just wanted to let you guys know, again, we're not going to have any shows for the next 2 weeks. We're going to be taking a time off. Actually, we don't take a time off. But just to give you guys a little peace of mind, I will be on certain times of the day, pretty much on gaming and talking to people. So if you guys want to join on and talk about movies or video games, by all means, you could jump in, and Willie will be there as well if he can.
Oh, are you still trying to get me on for Cyberpunk?
Yes, I do.
I should stream so you can see how much of a hot mess the game is.
Oh, I'm dying to.
Well, how much of a hot mess it is on my computer, I should say.
Well, but we'll see. But you know what, man? We'll save that hot mess, hopefully for the end of this week and maybe next week. But we have things to do, guys, and we need to bring it up today. So, with that being said, let's get started. Willie, so sure. Warner Brothers 2021 streaming plans is going to cost $1.2 billion in the box office. And I don't know what to do. That is, what the fuck? Like, why? I mean, besides the fact that we talked about last week that Warner Brothers is already like in the shit streak, and now this is happening, but I'm not sure why it's going to cost them that much money. Like, what seems to be the problem, though?
Okay, just so that we put a little background on this.
Yes.
By now, like you said, we spoke about it this last week. Warner Media, I should say, has decided to release all their 2021 movies day and date with streaming. And it's a big deal. It's ruffled more than a few feathers because, well, number one, the whole, protecting the movie-going experience bit, but also the fact that a lot of actors get paid on the back end when movies come out in theaters. And now they're getting basically their legs cut out from under them because this stuff wasn't negotiated beforehand.
Which that sucks,
For
man. That really sucks a lot.
It really does. For example, Wonder Woman 1984 is out in theaters now. For Christmas, it's going to be released in streaming. So it only had a 10-day window exclusively for movie theaters. Normally that would be a problem because that would mean that Gal Gadot and the director Patty Jenkins would have lost money on the back end. But Warner Media actually negotiated their deals and paid them up front. So they got their blessing. All the other deals, they didn't do that. So Mortal Kombat, Godzilla versus Kong, Matrix 4, those deals weren't negotiated. And so a lot of actors, directors, and producers aren't going to see the money they were expecting. But the $1.2 billion box office is basically saying all the people that would have gone to the movie theaters to watch those movies that are going to go streaming instead are going to cost that much. They're saying up to $1.2 billion in revenue. That's an estimate. It's a pretty good estimate, especially considering that by the time most of these movies would have come out, hopefully the human malware issue would have been hashed out. Oh, and there's another one. I don't know if you saw this one. Movie theaters in retaliation are coming up with a plan where, okay, you want to release and streaming at the same time you release in movie theaters? Well, maybe we'll only charge half price for your tickets.
Wow, dude, that's heavy.
Yeah, because
that's heavy shit.
Because the theaters split the box office with the movie studios. So I don't know how much in Warner Brothers' case, probably 40%. I know Disney commands 50%, but that's Disney. But yeah, Warner will probably get a pretty good sum of money from that. Well, now, we're gonna charge half for your tickets, and you're gonna see less. This is getting really nasty.
It's getting nice. It's getting really nasty out there. Like ugly fights everywhere.
This is like I'm talking about, yanking on weaves and scratching with your acrylics.
Dude, big time. Like I'm not
acrylics,
sure how these fights are going to end. I just pray that in 2021 they squish this shit and everything can go back to normal, kind of. I pray for that.
I don't know. I mean, do you want things to go back to normal?
I kind of do. I mean, because let's be honest, all we hear in a day by day is just nothing but negative shit, dude. It's just negative shit.
Negativity is all around us. That's fine. But I'm saying the normal. You're talking about the normality of the movie going experience.
Yeah, for movies at least.
I'm gonna say I'm of two minds of that.
Okay.
I'm of two minds with that. I mean, see if you agree with me here.
All right, go ahead.
I do agree that there is just quite a bit of value to the movie going experience. Going to go see a big movie is an event. You're going to go out, you're going to go, buy some tickets. Depending on the theater that you go to, will be the experience that you get. That there is a thing to be said for, preserving the movie going experience. At the same time, the movie going experience is stale as fuck. You and I, we go to Cine Bistro for the most part.
Of course.
It's movies. We have to go to a regular movie theater because Cine Bistro is an adult experience. Okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
But, Cine Bistro is about as unique an experience as we're going to get. Like, we don't have the Alamo Drafthouse here. They were building one in Orlando. I would love to go to it when it opens because that's a theater-going experience that's more than just, hey, let's go see a movie. Like, they do promotions, they do events, they do things to engage with the people going to see the movie. So that it's more than just go to a theater to watch a movie. Like, for decades, going to a movie theater is just get in your car, drive to the theater, you have your tickets, pay extremely exorbitant amounts of money for a popcorn.
Yeah.
Watch the movie, then get the fuck out. Next crew's got to come in.
Huh.
At least Animal Draft House tries to make it cool.
I want to see a little more about this Animal Draft House and see how this
Animal
movie...
Draft House is in Texas now, and I wish that I was there just so I could experience that. I'm not making it. It's not like it's going to turn the movie theater into a carnival, but they at least do more fun things with their movie premieres. Like, you see it every once in a while here. Like, I don't know if you remember a few years ago, there was a theater in Broward that did a thing where for the last Harry Potter movie,
okay,
you could actually buy a ticket for a marathon where you could watch all the Harry Potter movies one after the other.
I remember. They also did that for the X-Men movies. I mean, Marvel movies, sorry.
The MCU movies.
Yeah.
That was the Alamo Draft House that did that. Where you could buy a ticket and you watch all 23 movies, ending with Endgame. And those are things that psychopaths like you and I would do.
Of course, because
they would do.
That's our thing.
They got into some flack when the original Wonder Woman came out because they were going to dedicate one entire night to just ladies. It was a ladies' night, meaning no men.
I remember that. Yeah.
And whatever, it's a cool promotion. Get women to go in there, go in little groups, make it more than just a movie going event. But of course, the manosphere with all the man babies getting mad because they were being excluded from something.
Yes, the tiny pee-pee party. Yes.
Yes, because God forbid you exclude men. Can't exclude men. We're men.
How dare they? We're men-minded men. We're men in tights. Yes.
Yeah. See, the Animal Draft House could have balanced it out by saying, all right, we're going to do a men thing. Come watch Fast and the Furious.
Nah, I'll skip that.
That's what I'm saying. It's pure fucking testosterone.
Well, yeah, if we go back to part 1, when it was just mainly about racing.
No. I can't be. You can't have part 1. You have to start at 4.
Okay, all right.
You have to start at 4. Because, no. You have to go... I mean, okay, you want to watch the evolution? Watch from when it was just remember when it was about stealing cars and street racing? That was so cute.
It was adorable.
I'm surprised they haven't gone back in time to topple the Nazis. Let's just say that.
Give him some time. You just fed him something new.
No, listen, they're going to go to space. We already said this. Eventually, they're going to go to space.
Yeah.
But that's pure dude food.
It is.
Godzilla versus Kong. Perfect dude movie. Yes, women like the movies too, but make it guys' night. I don't know if I want to go. It's gonna reek of freaking sausage and sweaty balls. But all right, okay, sure, go for it.
True.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a sausage party.
No, but I wish that in the theaters.
Wait, that would have been a perfect promotion.
Sausage party for
night for. A guy's night for the premiere of Sausage Party.
That would have been fucking amazing. Like, I would have laughed my ass off the whole time.
Am I the only one that thinks about these things?
No, not really. I'm sure that somebody in the audience are pretty much laughing and going, you know what? This Uncle Willie guy has some ideas. We got to share.
Someone in Hollywood needs to get in touch with me.
Yes. And yeah, so if anybody's listening is from Hollywood, an agent or whatever, hit up Uncle Willie. I'll make sure that...
And Hollywood, California, not Hollywood, Florida.
Yeah. Let's make that specific. Okay. Let's make that very specific because
I want to get called. I want to get called by Disney, not cheetahs.
Anyways,
continuing from the last show.
Stupid. But guys,
you laughed.
Oh, I know I do, man. But come on, it's hilarious.
Because it is.
Yes, it is. But so pretty much the whole thing, Warner Brothers streaming plan for 2021 costing them $1.2 billion is just fucking bonkers. And I would love to hear your opinions about it. Please comment down below. Let us know what you think about it. Share some thoughts about it. Now, another thing that's been bugging me, and it's not a lot about bugging, it's mostly spoilers. I hate spoilers. But eventually there's always a couple people that talk about a certain movie and they just kind of like blurt it out without even realizing. Which comes to our next topic, It's Wonder Woman 1984. Spoiler accidentally revealed by talk show host Graham Norton. For those that don't know Graham Norton, he's a BBC talk show, correct, right, Willie?
BBC talk show, an
Yeah.
awesome talk show.
He's actually funny as shit. And the stars that he has had on that show, because of course in the BBC, they don't really censor bad words or anything like that. I mean, they do have a limit though. But the show is quite hilarious, especially with the stars they have there. Now, the reason we're bringing him up is he had Gal Gadot on the show, and they were talking about Wonder Woman 1984. And of course, as a host, you're going to be asking all these questions. Now, there's a part there. I'm not going to say it, nor will Willie, because we respect spoilers in this show. And he mentions a certain something that happens within the movie where Norton is bringing it up, and Gal Gadot just pretty much like freaks out and shushes him, like shut that up, don't do shit. And Norton looks surprised because he didn't think it was such of a surprise what he said, but it was pretty bad. So he actually spoiled a part of the movie, and it's not significantly like okay, for those comic book fans out there, you won't be surprised. But for people that are going to go see this movie, they're going to be like, oh shit, they made it happen. So, Willie, we love Graham. And what are your thoughts about this accidental spoiler alert? Oh, spoiler, I should say. What do you think about it?
First off, I'm just surprised that there hasn't been more spoilers on the Graham Norton show.
Well, that is true. You absolutely.
I'd say it because this is a talk show in the 100% British way. People drink on the show, and I'm not talking about water. It's nothing's funnier than seeing Quentin Tarantino or Brad Pitt or Mark Wahlberg was my favorite one, just sitting there talking shit because they're half buzzed. That's
amazing. Because that's how it should be.
Genius, and I love it. And that's why I'm surprised there haven't been more spoilers. Carrie Fisher, may she rest in peace, was on the show when they were promoting the part 7. I don't remember the name. Whatever. I don't care. The one that was trying to be like A New Hope. They were there promoting it. I'm surprised she didn't spoil more shit. She was infamous for not keeping secrets. What was it that Mark Hamill had said once about her? Telegraph, telephone, telecarry.
I remember that. Yeah.
You got to find that clip.
Yeah, we'll find it though.
But yeah, I mean, being in a show where you're sitting there and you're talking about, movies that may have spoilers in them, and you're drinking. Yeah. But, that's sometimes the whole spoiler thing gets taken too far. It's not like Graham Norton was trying to spoil something. But, he did. It's accidental. At least he's not one of these asshole pricks that go on the internet purposely to spoil shit for people. Which I don't usually care about, but sometimes, certain situations I do. I talked about the one with Endgame.
No, yeah, we talked about it a lot. And the thing is, we also even wrote about it on our freaking website, where it was mostly us talking about when they ruined Spider-Man, actually, in a spoiler within a trailer, which that really pissed me off. I was like, oh my God, like, I didn't really want to believe that was it. Like, like I was so like pissed at that movie. I love the movie. I try to do everything possible for not even to see a spoiler, but I was like, oh, this looks like a regular spoiler. And then they just, like, not a spoiler, a trailer. And all suddenly it spoiled the movie to the part where the end is at. You're like, wait, what? And you didn't, it just fucking bothers, dude. So yeah, when it comes to spoilers and stuff like that, it's really bothersome, dude.
I try to keep a bit of in mind that some people can't go out and see things right away, and so I try to hold my tongue about certain things. I do get kind of dickish when it comes to things like, oh, you haven't seen the movie in a year, maybe you didn't want to see it. But I do have to sit there and remember that, like people who are in active duty, they might not be able to go and see things, in a timely manner. So maybe stop being a dickhead, Willie. But nah.
But whatever. You know what? We'll let the our audience let us know what they think about. Is this an honest mistake, or it was just like a fuck it just happened? Oh well, fuck it, and just keep going. So comment down below. Let us know what you think about what happened in the Graham Norton show. Just a shit and giggles. See what happens. So we were talking about Spider-Man just a little minute ago, and of course, last week we talked about the whole shabam about Spider-Man's multiverse. But one thing that we want, what?
Which one thing that, well, you go ahead and say that, but we'll talk about the little conversation we had off the podcast. Okay.
So the whole shabam with the whole multiverse, which we got to hear a lot of things, but one thing we never got to hear was, a fellow cast member from the original Spider-Man movie with Sam Raimi, was Joe Manganiello, who pretty much played Flash Thompson, the bully of the movie, which he had a very small role, but it was a very effective role, though, which you kind of remember him, and you're like, damn, that guy was a dick. And he was dating Mary Jane at the time and whatnot and so forth. So he pretty much mentions, I'm fascinated to see how all of this is going to play. I think Marvel has done an amazing job up to this point. And I know all of those characters are in very good hands. So I'm very, very curious to see how how will it work out, and all of it's indeed true. So I'm like, I can see it that he's very excited for this. But being that he's gonna be in the DCEU, that he's gonna play freaking what's his character's name? Fuck, I forgot now.
Deathstroke.
There we go. Being that he's gonna be Deathstroke, do you feel that he wanted to be part of the MCU, like to become something within it?
I mean, it's gotten to the point where everybody wants to be part of the MCU, not because of how they feel about it or anything like that, but because that's the place to be.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I had independently seen a story where one actor regrets being in the MCU. I don't know if you remember Scott Adkins being in Doctor Strange.
Scott Adkins.
He was one of Cassilius's flukies.
Okay, yeah, I remember now.
Well, he kind of laments being in Doctor Strange as a big character villain, because now he doesn't have a chance of being in the MCU going forward. Which, fair play. It does suck. Like, I have to think about people like, oh my God, what's this guy's name? Shazam.
Oh my God.
My brain sucks. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, just let you know that mine's is fuck. He has a very common name, dude.
Levy.
Yeah, Levy.
I don't remember his name though. I have to look it up because I'm Zachary Levi, actually, not Levy. Zachary Levi.
Levy? I thought you were
Levy,
right though. Yeah, Zach Levy.
I was probably thinking of Eugene Levy, but
probably
Zachary Levi. He can't be in the MCU no more. Because why? Because he was killed off. You're thinking about it, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Okay, He was Fandral. Remember Fandral, one of the Warriors 3?
I couldn't remember.
He was one of the Warriors 3. He was in the first one, in the second one. And in Thor Ragnarok, when Hela gets to Asgard, he's one of the people that goes up to attack her right in the little room where the Bifrost is.
Oh,
and
yeah,
she just
I remember
knives him to death.
Yeah, she fucks him up. Yeah, I remember.
So he's done, unless they multiverse his ass back in, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that people like Joe Manganiello are talking about, we were in a Marvel movie and it's interesting to see how it's going to play out in the MCU.
Hmm.
I would have loved to have seen him as Venom.
That would be awesome. That would have been
Because there was a
awesome.
Flash Thompson Venom, Agent Venom.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. I don't know. Maybe they will. I don't know if they're going to use Joe Manganiello. Because, well, I hope so. Because the Flash Thompson in the Tom Holland Spider-Verse is not really the kind of person you think of when you think of Agent Venom.
No.
Not that there's anything wrong with him. He's actually funny. I thought the way they wrote him in Far From Home was really funny.
Yeah.
But I don't see him as Agent Venom.
No. I don't either.
But yeah, I mean, I think that, people that were in previous Spider-Man movies would be interested in seeing the takes that certain characters take in the MCU, especially Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 has become a meme.
Yeah, it has. Like
To the
an
point
ongoing meme, which is so funny.
To the point where I've seen tweets of people saying, "What do I care about the Snyder cut of the DC, of Justice League? It's not going to be part of Spider-Man 3."
Yeah.
We talked about that. We talked
No,
about
we
the
have.
craziness of Spider-Man
We
3.
talked a lot of shit.
No, but
fact-
the one that we brought up, that I brought up with the couple days ago,
Mhm.
that one was crazy. We were positing what would happen if the MCU did an Arrowverse. The Arrowverse, the DC shows on the CW, did a whole take on Crisis on Infinite Earths, and basically tied every DC movie or TV show that's ever existed into a multiverse. So
Which
all of
is
them existed
pretty awesome, though.
in some universe. Yeah, the Green Lantern movie, the Snyder Justice League, the old Batman the old Batman TV show. They're all in the same in the same multiverse.
By far amazing for that
So-
fucking thought.
So I let my brain wander, as I usually do, and started saying, well, what if Marvel were to do the same thing and tie everything they've ever done into a multiverse? Well, it means that there's a multiverse where an animated Peter B. Parker can be fighting with live action Peter Parkers. There
Yeah.
could be a case where Charlie Cox's Daredevil meets up with Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
That would be fucking
And
bizarre.
Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin can sit there and wonder why he's now, what's his name? God, I forget people's names. But yeah, the white Kingpin and black Kingpin can sit there and say, "Hey, wait, you're not right." Leading to my favorite one,
Go.
which is Captain America comes back just in time to see Chris Evans' Human Torch.
Oh my god, dude! Can you imagine?
Chris Evans' Human Torch, and then Shuri wondering why the other Human Torch looks like her brother. Well, no, not her brother, her half brother.
Yeah. She's like, wait, what? Like, how is this even
Exactly.
possible?
Exactly. Can you imagine Black Panther 2 and Michael B. Jordan, Human Torch, shows up and it says talking to Shuri, and she's like, "Didn't we just kill you?
Yeah, didn't you die?
Didn't we just kill you?" So yeah, and Wesley Snipes' Blade, because that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be fuck yeah. It's a must.
So yeah, if that were to happen, oh no, your favorite thing of all,
What?
Japanese Spider-Man.
Oh hell yeah!
For those of you listening,
give me that.
I'm not talking about Spider-Geddon from Into the Spider-Verse. I'm
No,
talking about
no.
this. Roll that.
This is
I'm
by
talking
far
about
the
that.
most fucking amazing shit to see. That
talking
right there is
about that.
amazing,
That actually existed.
and it's amazing. Like it's fucking awesome. I will give everything out to see that.
Yes. I absolutely agree. But no, it's cool to see that, actors from previous Spider-Man movies are actually intrigued.
But I would like to see all that and more. But at least for Joe, that I mean, I know I can tell he's not bitter about this, but I know there's something in him that he wants to be in this movie. But at least his reaction towards it is all positive stuff, which that's a great thing, you know. You always give out the good things, and who knows, maybe they'll part cast him for something bigger in the MCU in the future. You just never know.
Maybe.
Yeah. But while we're still on the MCU, guys, Marvel's preparing for its MCU moviegoers to go to Disney Plus. So, as pretty much as we talked just a few minutes ago about the whole thing with Warner Brothers, and Marvel's doing the same thing with Disney Plus and preparing them hard. Like, they're making sure that there's no strings attached, no cutting of the feet, no nothing. They're making sure they get this the way they have to get it done and proper. So Marvel is pretty much adjusting payments to its actors depending on the future of the MCU movies. The whole thing with the human malware pandemic, it continues to roll into the whole entertainment industry. With Marvel felt that the impact is pretty high and they need to do something like right now to get things sorted out immediately. So in other words, they're trying to have like a backup plan for in case if this ever happens again, or within 2021 if it keeps going. So personally, to me, Willie, I think that's actually a smart idea that they're actually focusing on this type of issue because, of course, you know, you have actors, directors, writers, producers, everything, even the camera crew and everybody that you have to pay money to, you know, eventually for something like this in this type of production. And I think them doing this is kind of like a safe net, like a safety net type of thing. And I think it's the smartest thing they can do.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as the crew. The crew usually doesn't get back end points and doesn't get any kind of box office deals. They usually get paid on regular SAG-AFTRA scale. So they wouldn't be as affected. The actors and actresses, directors and producers, like the big people that do get points on box office, those are the ones that would be affected if Marvel did the Warner Media route of just throwing everything in streaming. But I will say Marvel's situation is way different than Warner Media's.
How so?
Because Marvel is working from a position of strength. And that strength is Disney Plus is a viable streaming platform right now. Netflix is king, and no one's going to dethrone Netflix anytime soon. But out of all the streaming services that have come out recently to try to take from Netflix's business, Disney Plus is the only one that has had a pretty successful launch and has had a good amount of subscribers. HBO Max was like near at the bottom, and there was pressure from parent company AT&T to prop up HBO Max. Remember what I told you last week about how eventually there's going to be a culling, that sooner or later the bubble's going to burst on streaming services?
Yeah.
And there's going to be a bunch of failures left and right?
Yep.
Well, Warner Media is facing that scenario because nobody wants HBO Max.
Yep.
The only reason people were even interested in HBO Max before was because of the Snyder Cut. Which, by the way, I said it was going to be 2 parts. No, I was wrong. It's 4 parts.
4 parts.
This is essentially going to be Game of Thrones. Game of Justice League season 1.
Jesus Christ.
But past that, and past a couple of things that maybe people are interested in, like The Sopranos and what does HBO Max really have that's, you know, a must-have?
Nothing. They really don't.
And let's face it, the things that HBO Max has that might be of interest, people already had with HBO Go and HBO Now. HBO has had more names than Diddy.
That's crazy.
But it's true.
You're right, though.
And so this was calculated as a way to get people on HBO Max. Disney does not have that kind of problem. Marvel doesn't at least. They have
Marvel's not playing, man. Let's just be honest.
They have a stable of shows for Disney Plus And they can wait out COVID. I shouldn't have said COVID. They can wait out the human malware.
Got it.
It's gonna suck because it's dragging their, it's messing with their plans. Like, it was said that Falcon and Winter Soldier was waiting until Black Widow came out because one of the characters from Black Widow was going to show up in Falcon and Winter Soldier. But whatever, they're rolling with it anyway. And if they feel like they can't wait anymore and they have to at least release Black Widow, they're going to work out some deals with Scarlett Johansson and all the other actors, and they're going to get something going so that they're taken care of and don't sabotage the whole thing. Yeah. Because the Marvel machine is very, very, very well oiled. Out of all the properties, out of all the divisions that Disney has, it's the one that's like chugging on all cylinders. Star Wars had a few hiccups. Pixar had a couple of hiccups with the whole John Lasseter scandal. Marvel's just chugging along, and they're going to have something in place. They're gonna have something in place. They're gonna have something in place. They're not gonna do a Warner Media.
No. And you know what? I can't wait to see that, because with talking about the whole thing with the MCU and Marvel and everything like that with Disney Plus, this is gonna pretty much lead up to what we don't want to talk about right now. And Willie, I know you're very excited about this part right here, and it's the MCU theory that WandaVision explains where the X-Men mutants have been within the show. This is quite interesting, Willie, because Marvel's upcoming Disney Plus series WandaVision just might help explain where all the mutants have been in the MCU timeline this whole time. So now that Disney has acquired 20th Century Fox, however, the rights to the X-Men Fantastic Four are back under Marvel's control. Already Marvel has plans. And we talked about this last week, actually, when we talked about that Disney did a whole presentation when the Game Awards came out, which I was kind of shocked that this happened. Really shocked. And when I told you about it, you were like, holy shit.
That wasn't the Game Awards. They had
no. Separate, this is a separate thing. That's what I was trying to say. That when the Game Awards came on, they did something right behind it, which I was like,
their investor call.
So despite the fact that, the Game Awards came on, but that Marvel shot this afterwards, like in a separate thing, like I'm not even sure if that was even planned. Like if they're like, fuck the Game Awards, we're going to give you something to really look at. And again, you and I talked about it, and I know it was a day that we were both busy. And when I showed you what they had in planned, I was just, my mind was blown, because I didn't expect nothing what they were showing us there. And
I will say it was the event was their investor call.
Yeah,
they had an investor call where they were explaining to the investors all about the projects they have coming up, and not just Marvel, for everything. And that was a lot of information to take in. Yeah,
because look, the fact that we have director John Watts, who has been tapped to direct the Fantastic Four reboot, which will be the first Fantastic Four movie in the MCU. And I think that's amazing, pretty much as well. Like, they're moving forward with the Deadpool 3, with Deadpool being a mutant, depending on who's asking. And, it's just, I
want to clear that one up.
Go.
Okay, folks, this is where I become a comic book wonk.
Okay.
Deadpool is not a mutant. Deadpool is a mutate.
Yeah, because of all the things they put inside.
Mutants are born with their powers. They done fucked with Deadpool's body and made him.
Yeah, so he's technically just a cesspool of stuff.
Well, he's a cesspool, but that's what everybody loves about him.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff going on.
But, the fact is that we're bringing up is that WandaVision explains that where the X-Men mutants have been, and that right there, I'm waiting for January already, because they're going to bring up the House of M eventually.
No, well, sort of. I'm going to say this first. This is a theory.
Okay.
That was put up by Screen Rant.
Yes.
It's a very interesting theory, and there's a lot of things that are said there that, okay, I could see it. But I have one issue with it.
Go.
First, let's explain House of M.
All right.
House of M is a very well-known, well, at least for Marvel fans, well-known story in the Marvel universe, wherein the Scarlet Witch truly royally fucks some shit up. It starts with the fact that she sort of kind of had children with the Vision, except they weren't real, and her mind started to unravel when she realized they weren't real, and it led to a lot of things like the Avengers getting their asses kicked. And eventually her mind, I mean, without getting too much into the story, her mind fragmented to the point where she created an alternate reality where everybody's fondest dreams had come true.
Okay.
Spider-Man was having a happy life. Miss Marvel was the most popular superhero in the world, and the mutants ruled over everything. Eventually, people start realizing that shit's not real, and it culminates with her getting so upset with her father, who was Magneto, that she utters the words "no more mutants," which ends up killing 98% of all the, not killing, I should say, depowering 98% of the mutants in the world.
Hard shit, man. That's some hard stuff right there.
It's hardcore. It's hardcore. Now, the theory says that that was the House of the whole House of M storyline could be a way for them to introduce mutants into the universe. Yes, it is. Entirely, especially considering that we're talking about multiverse here. Now, they bring up two possibilities, and each one of them is interesting in its own way, but at the same time, I have an issue with it. The first one is that, well, she accidentally wiped out the world's mutants, but nobody remembers them because she wiped their memories. The second one is where the mutants weren't depowered; they were just put into an alternate universe.
Holy shit!
The problem with both of those theories is that it plays from the perspective of the world the world that we've been seeing in the MCU up to this point was the Matrix, where the entire MCU was an altered reality. And once the events of WandaVision happen, everything snaps back to the actual reality where she's not, as they said in Avengers: Age of Ultron, they're not enhanced individuals; they're mutants.
Yep, that is true.
I mean, it can still work. As a matter of fact,
it looks like there's a possibility that will make it happen, dude. I mean,
if you think about it, let's say that they go that reverse House of M route,
yeah,
where everything that we've seen in the MCU up till now has been the altered reality, and when she snaps out, like, you know, when her reality crumbles, and we come back to the real reality, all of a sudden, Black Panther was not T'Challa. We have a perfect excuse for why they're not recasting Black Panther for the second movie. It could have been Shuri all along.
Oh my god, what a mindfuck!
Right,
dude.
That's why I'm saying that you could go that route, and you can weave it in and like totally mindfuck people. But yeah, I mean, don't you want to be careful with that, don't you?
I mean, yeah. I mean, they need to have... Look, if they want to be careful, I understand. But I will say also, they should have a good storyline if they're going to do it. Like, if they're going to have a good storyline, then, you know, that you're going to sit there and invest to something like this, I say, go for it, dude. Because I would love to hear it.
I don't see a way where... I could see a way where they can fuck it up. Because until now, the secret sauce for, in my opinion, the secret sauce for the MCU has been that Kevin Feige knows what stories from the comics to take and how to modify them so that they work within his little universe.
Yeah.
Something that I always find funny is that when comic book fans see adaptations of movies, adaptations of the comics and movies, they lose their minds with shit like, that's not the way it is in comic books.
They're funny when they do that.
Meanwhile, 85% of the stuff that happens in the MCU didn't happen that way in the comic books, and everybody's like, it's okay.
Yeah. As long as it has a good story and it's entertaining, I say go for it.
I was 100% expecting Cap to die after Civil War.
I think everybody was. And I think they all had bets on that.
And I actually thought it was kind of cowardly that didn't even approach it.
Nah.
But
the ass whooping in that movie was fucking intense.
Oh no, they dropped. How was it that these people, if Double Toast has said, dropped them motherfucking bees on them?
Yep. And
I was totally satisfied with Civil War. Totally satisfied with it.
It was fun. It was great. It was actually a good fucking movie.
Did not follow the text, the original story beat for beat. But then again, considering the amount of people that were involved in the original Civil War, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, which also leads to something that I've always been saying. Do you really want everything to be word by word, picture by picture, like in the comics? Because if it is, then you're technically just going to have to just get the book, read it, and be like, okay, I already know what's going to happen next. I mean, yeah, granted, you're going to be like, okay, I know what's going to happen, but I like to have that suspension, something is not right. Something just clicked, and it's like, wait a minute, this is not sure happen like this. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, listen, if we would have gone with everything that happened in the comic books, Thor Ragnarok would have never happened. Avengers Infinity War would have been depressing from the very beginning. Wait, it was, a different kind of depressing. But yeah, and the original Infinity, the original Infinity Gauntlet storyline, Thanos just starts by snapping half of life out of existence.
He said, fuck it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, he straight up said, fuck it. And then to sit there and have to explain his love for Lady Death and just a lot of comic book stuff that the average person is not going to give a shit about. Mm-hmm. I might even get confused about.
Definitely will.
Yeah. So, I'm good that he hasn't stuck with things as they are in the comic books. Although that does mean that, Howard the Duck was in Endgame but didn't do nothing.
Yeah. But we still don't know because we haven't seen him in the fight in the ending, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had the gun, we saw him, but we don't know what the hell he did. We don't know what he did.
I would have been 100% okay if they would have cut to a scene where Howard the Duck was smoking a cigar with Rocket. I actually would not have been upset.
That would have been fucking awesome. But you know what?
That would have been amazing.
But you know what, man? I do have a thought, though, and it's pretty much within our next thing that we're going to be talking about. And it's about the MCU Phase 4, and it's continue with Banner's, Hulk battle. Pretty much, right after Endgame. Like right after that shit, you still have Hulk or Banner pretty much battling the whole thing inside of him, right? So the Avengers Endgame mostly resolves the struggle between Bruce Banner and the Hulk. But in the show She-Hulk, the conflict looks like it's going to be like it's just going to happen again. Like there's going to be something there again that's going to bring it up. And the antagonist, Abomination, which came out in 2008 in The Incredible Hulk with Tim Roth, whichever way. Yeah.
Roth.
Which he came out in that live action movie. I'm not sure how the hell they're gonna get that Abomination into this world, and I'm not sure if it's part of the multiverse. And the thing is that I know that the Abomination in that movie, he was an asshole. He was a bad motherfucking asshole, which I was like, wow, he's fucking one hell of a character. But I don't know how this character is gonna be within this TV show now. You want to share a thought about this more or less?
I can see a situation where Professor Hulk can't battle Abomination because he's not strong enough. Historically one of the problems with Banner maintaining his intelligence is that he loses some of his strength. Remember, the whole catch is the Hulk gets stronger as he gets madder.
Yeah.
But if Hulk doesn't have that primal urge to just bash things and get angry at everything, he kind of loses some of his power. He kind of loses a bit of his strength.
Yeah.
If Abomination can wipe the floor with Professor Hulk.
Yeah, because he's just focused on anger, technically. And, of course, he's the bad guy.
Yeah. So I can see a thing where Banner has to revisit, regular Green Hulk and just let himself go. Because, let's face it, the characters are always the best when they are evolving.
Yes.
Like, one problem that people have had with Captain America historically is that he's one note. He's all about, a Captain America. He's supposed to be the embodiment of America. But he's just, the whole thing with Captain America is that he is the goody two-shoes. And will always choose the goody two-shoes answer, even in cases where, the choices might be a little morally off.
Yeah.
That's no fun.
Okay.
Thor is supposed to be the cocky but righteous god. It's no fun if he stays like that. That's what made Ragnarok so fun. The fact that he's a god, but deep inside he's a scared little kid.
Yeah, and he found someone that's actually overpowers him, which made him doubt himself.
Not just doubt himself, but we get into the fact that he is just a spoiled rich kid.
Yeah,
who's always had everything he ever had, and he always can solve the problems because he's Thor, and he just throws his hammer around and he solves his problem. They took the hammer away from him and just basically depowered the shit out of him.
Yeah, he was just that guy.
No, just a spoiled rich kid.
Yeah, he just had to find. He had to find him in himself though, because
yes, he did.
He had to find them within himself.
And the only way he could find it within himself is through the value of Led Zeppelin.
Oh,
that was his true power.
God damn it! Yeah, you're right. I loved it. I gotta see that shit again because just for that.
But
wait a minute before I do go forward.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Real quick. Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
What if they play a whole lot of love?
No, I don't want that. I want them to play ABBA.
No. Well, I mean that's awesome, but no, come on, the Led Zeppelin cinematic universe. And that way, when Hulk finally hulks out and fights Abomination, they can play rock and roll.
Oh man, it's just the amount of good music that Willie comes up with for these fucking shows and movies. It needs to happen. It just needs to happen.
But
yeah.
Oh, and let's not forget the thing that I brought up last week.
What?
I still want to see Joe Fixit.
If they bring up Joe Fixit at least in that show, I think I'll be pleased.
I want an episode. If they're gonna do that, I want a thing in She-Hulk where Hulk decides he's gonna stop the whole beating bad guys up thing, and he becomes Joe Fixit, and he starts working for the Kingpin.
Dude, enough. Because I oh my god.
I hope you're putting pictures of Joe Fixit as I see this.
Yes, I am. Because it's a must.
Yes. So that was fun.
So, besides that, also Willie, which I am very much looking forward to see the She-Hulk show. We already got a little thing for Ant-Man 3, which the title explains how Kang the Conqueror joins the MCU. And for those that don't know, the title is going to be called Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I see the name, and to be honest, my feeble monkey brain could only go to Hulkamania because reasons. Willie, can you explain the back, like the whole thing with Kang the Conqueror for us? Because to be honest, I don't know nothing about it.
Kang the Conqueror is a bit complicated because he's a time traveler. He's one of those MacGuffin characters that Marvel would put into their Fantastic Four stories. Just to have some being that supposedly is so intelligent and all this bunch of stuff and powerful. He's just a time traveler, and truthfully, if you go and look through his history in Marvel, you'll just get confused.
I get it.
He's all over the place. But yes, the fact that he's a time traveler and he does hop between dimensions does explain a lot about Quantumania.
Okay.
There's another story behind this, though. Yes, he's a time traveler, but the problem with Kang, not really a problem. The thing with Kang is that his history is so weird that at one point he comes into our universe as a good guy.
How so?
At one point he comes as a younger form of himself and becomes Iron Lad. Iron Lad, one of the founding members of the Young Avengers, which is a big deal. Which is a big deal in the case of Ant-Man and the Wasp, because of Scott Lang's daughter, Cassie Lang, also a member of the Young Avengers.
I see.
Though, I mean, they're setting up the Young Avengers. That much is known. Because we have here Cassie Lang and Kang, who will eventually become Iron Lad. The Disney Plus shows that are being talked about include Miss Marvel, the Kamala Khan Miss Marvel, as well as Ironheart, which okay.
Yeah.
And Hawkeye, which is also, give me a second because I have to remember her name. Oh Jesus. My brain. Oh, and also Hawkeye, who's establishing Kate Bishop. So it's not a matter of if, but when for Young Avengers. It's interesting that that all these pieces are coming together the way they are. Kevin Feige is a mad genius.
He is. He's fucking like, man.
The one question I have is, they already said that She-Hulk was going to be more than just, she wasn't going to be the only Hulk-powered character in it. We know Banner's going to be in it. And because Thunderbolt's going to be in it, they're all talking about Red Hulk. I'm wondering, are they going to bring Amadeus Cho?
Who's that?
South Korean Hulk?
Oh. I mean, you never know. Right?
Listen. They said that there was going to be a Hulkathon. They didn't say what exactly who was invited to the Hulkpocalypse.
This big old party.
It's a big green party.
Tch.
Maybe a little red if Thunderbolt decides to go Red Hulk.
I think.
Like seriously, we talked about this. One of the coolest things about talking about comic book movies is trying to think of all the things they're going to go and bring up. Like the multiverse and the DCEU, the DC universe. I don't know what the hell you want to call it. We're talking about how Flashpoint's going to have Michael Keaton in it as Batman. Too bad about Val Kilmer. But I think talking about all these things. Oh wow, how many Batmans are going to have there? You're going to have Batman Beyond in there?
Ooh.
They talked about it. They talked about possibly Michael Keaton being the mentor to the character from Batman Beyond.
We just gotta wait
to see
what they give us.
Like I said, my DC knowledge is not as strong as my Marvel knowledge, but that'll be interesting.
I mean, we have to see. It looks like it's going to be a quite interesting. At least this movie, because I do believe it or not, I do like the Ant-Man movies. The first one was actually funny. The second part was actually entertaining. Now I'm actually want to see what
the first one will always hurt me because I always think of what could have been.
I see.
because it was originally directed by Edgar Wright. And how I would have loved to have seen an Ant-Man movie directed by the guy who did the Cornetto trilogy. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz. Can you imagine that guy making an Ant-Man
Man,
movie?
it would have been bonkers, dude.
There were little bits of it. There were little bits of that movie in the original Ant-Man, but I would have loved to have seen a full Edgar Wright Ant-Man.
That
Like,
would have been great.
I've told you many times about my feelings about Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yes, we all
One
know.
thing I do not hate is the visuals of it, the way it was directed. It's a beautiful movie. It's an awesome movie in that regard. And that was Edgar Wright. Imagine that happening in an Ant-Man movie. Like the monologues with Luis. That's 100%. That's 100%
awesome.
Edgar Wright. 100% Edgar Wright.
That monologue is fucking everything in that movie.
Yes.
It's everything.
And I still want, when they start Phase 4, I still want Luis to be explaining it.
It's gonna go down. You're saying this as a joke, but he's gonna explain it.
I don't know if he is, but I would love to see it happen. And I want to see Luis, Korg, and Rocket talk about this.
It will be by far the most fucking amazing shit ever to see those three on screen talking about what the fucking the events of Endgame and them just talking about it. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
The banter will be there, and throw in Groot just for the fuck of it because we need Groot.
Well, he's gonna have his own TV show, and I don't know how I feel about that one.
We'll see. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be a cartoon from the way it's imaged, but
Yes.
we're not sure yet either.
I'm not sure how I feel about that one.
But we'll find out later, man. I mean, Marvel hasn't done nothing wrong yet, ish. But let's see what happens, though.
That's debatable. I mean, there are people who defend Thor: The Dark World. I actually heard cousin Jose defend it.
Yeah,
And
I did. I
okay,
remember.
yeah, it's not a terrible movie, but it was dull as shit.
It was, but I mean, what? There's not a lot to explain about that movie. I mean, I remember seeing it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it because I need to see it, and I passed out because it is boring. It sucks. It's boring.
It's not that it sucks. It's just that it's like lifeless.
No,
Like,
I'm saying
who
like
gives a
it
shit
sucks. I'm saying like it sucks for the fact that it was boring for me. Not that the movie sucked though, but it was just boring. Like it sucks that I couldn't enjoy it like that.
Yeah, and Iron Man 2, as much fun as we had watching it at Cine Bistro, it wasn't that great of a movie.
It wasn't. Whiplash was a very in and out character.
Whiplash was in my opinion what killed it.
Yeah.
If they would have, I mean, I said that it's been said to death before, and yeah, I'm just gonna sound like I'm repeating other people's words, but it's true. If it would have been just Tony Stark versus Justin Hammer, I would have been fine.
That would have been interesting. Which I think now in the new TV show with actually War Machine,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna go against them.
I mean, listen, Sam Rockwell as Justin Hammer was awesome.
It was.
And I don't care what people say. Okay, Iron Man 3, the twist with the Mandarin was fucking genius.
It was hilarious.
I
It was
absolutely loved it. Okay, the subversion was absolutely amazing.
Bloody hell!
And
bloody
the fact,
hell, bloody hell!
bloody hell! Please play that, please.
These recipes. Hey! Bloody hell, bloody hell.
God, I love that. And the fact that Shang-Chi's coming out and the Ten Rings are teased again, you know Kang is good. You know that Mandarin's going to be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they've had a good run. By no means perfect.
Yeah.
But they've done really well.
I mean true.
When,
it's true.
When the worst thing that you can say about the whole Marvel machine is that they didn't treat the Netflix shows all that well, and the worst thing about them was a show that wasn't even considered to be all that, all that tied into the actual MCU, the Inhumans.
Yeah,
I think they're doing all right.
I think so too, man.
But oh my god, the Inhumans was bad.
I need to see that show. I have not fucking seen it.
Oh my god, they had to, because at the time, I know the reason why they did it. At the time, they were still in the whole civil war with Fox over the mutants, and they were writing the mutants out of the comic books, because if they're not going to be able to use them in the movies, then why have them in the books? And so they were having the Inhumans take the mutants' place, which was a fucking piece of shit, because I've always been an X-Men fan. But business be business. And so they did that. And so they were trying to see if they could find a way to get people interested in the Inhumans. And they didn't give a shit.
Of course not. Why would they?
They didn't. It wasn't that big of a deal in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when they talked about Inhumans, and the show was a catastrophe. So yeah, that's the worst thing they have on their resume. They're doing all right.
But you know what I really want to talk about? And it's,
oh boy,
him.
Oh boy. Do we
and
need
it's
to
about,
remind people?
Oh yeah, I'm actually gonna put a link to that one fucking thing, because it's about Johnny Depp.
You know what? No, forget about the link. Don't forget about the link. Just play that clip.
There we go.
You got it right.
Yes.
Now
so
what? Mads Mikkelsen will replace Johnny Depp. I pronounced Mads Mikkelsen right. He replaced Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. I mean, there's so much questions behind that clip.
There's no questions. You just lost your shit.
Yes,
There's
I did. I lost all my shits, actually. Because Johnny Depp is Johnny Dirt now to me, and I can never get that fixed.
Yeah, yes you can. Yes you can.
Yeah, no.
It just takes hard work and dedication.
Look, and the thing is about Johnny Depp is that Disney's blocking him for the Pirates of the Caribbean return. So the thing is, they wanted to bring in Johnny Depp as kind of a little cameo for the next Pirates of the Caribbean, the all-women cast. But they're pretty much saying that they don't want him in there at all. Not even for a cameo, not even as mentioned in a picture. They just don't want him in there at all. So that sucks. That sucks. Because I don't know how to say it. I mean, look, they're gonna have, was it Margot Robbie as the next pirate, right? Right?
Yes, I heard that.
Okay, so she's gonna be the pirate, and I'm not sure why would they want to establish, fucking Captain Jack Sparrow, or some way possible that they just kind of like a glimpse, or like, oh, there he goes walking by, pirate to do something within the pirate universe or whatever. But this kind of sucks in every way possible. In every way possible, it sucks.
It does, because all this is the fallout from a very highly publicized court case, and that's it's pitched him against his ex-wife Amber Heard, and the he said she said things that are being tossed about. Folks, just before we go any further, I am not going to excuse the man if it turns out he is a fucking wife abuser, but it turns out that she seems to be a bit of a husband abuser.
Yeah.
And that's just not cool either.
It's not.
But all this is spilling out into his professional life. He already got yanked from this stupid movie, Fantastic Beasts. And now we can argue about it all we want, but there's no denying that he was Pirates of the Caribbean.
He was. I mean, if you think about Pirates of the Caribbean right now, the name itself, you go straight to him. You're like, oh yeah, Johnny Depp. Jack Sparrow. That's it. Automatically. There's no thought about it.
The first thing that people associate with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that the reason for the Pirates franchise still being a thing, being erased. I mean, however you feel about it, that's bad. That's sad.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, whether it's that he let himself fall to the point where he could do such inexcusable things and be associated with, being an actual wife beater, or the fact that his name was dragged through the mud so badly by someone who seems to be just as abusive that ended up wrecking his career. Whichever one it is, it's sad.
Yeah.
You don't want to see, you don't want to celebrate someone who hits women, but you also don't want to see somebody who might not have done it get trashed.
Yeah, it sucks. It really does. Like shit like that, it bothers me, man. Does that, that whole he said, she said bullshit? Yeah, it really does sucks, dude. Especially on his case, like right now for this movie, it's kind of bad because it looks like they're just kind of like erasing him little by little from all little movies and stuff.
It looks like, his career seems to be going the same route as Kevin Spacey and Bill Cosby and all the other actual douchebags that have gone and they've been canceled. Whether you want to sit there and argue that it's for good reason or not, at the end of the day, if they did the things that's said of them, they're douchebags.
And you're absolutely right, dude. But let's go to something a little lighter, which is going to be our pretty much our last story, and it's about Jurassic World. No, not the movie, Willie. Calm down, calm your tits. This is technically,
no tits need to be calmed.
This is technically Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, and they revealed a season 2 trailer, which I'm excited for. It's a fucking cartoon, and I'm excited for this one.
I honestly know nothing about this.
Wait, what?
I know nothing.
Oh my god. What are you, bro? Look, I'm gonna be honest. When I first saw or heard about Camp Cretaceous, I honestly thought it was gonna be, kind of a kids movie, dinosaurs type of shit. No, this movie has a dark fucking soul. This movie, I say movie, but it's actually a show. This show has some dark fucking corners in this whole thing, and it all takes place, and of course, Jurassic World, dude. Season 1 is technically taking place while let's say we're watching Jurassic World right now, and then they're the other side of the island where they have a little camp there, Camp Cretaceous, where they invited X amount of kids who played a Jurassic World game VR and beat it. So they get invited to the island, these top players, to have their Jurassic World experience and see the dinosaurs, experience the eggs, how they're being hatched, a bunch of the things that you see within the movie, though. Now, the events of Jurassic World, all the bad things that you saw that happened, that the big freaking Adonis Rex comes out, you have that big freaking fish one that eats a shark, all that's in this fucking series, all of them. And if you think because it's a cartoon, you're not gonna see deaths, oh boy, you got a lot waiting for you. Sure, they're not gonna show you the blood and guts and all that stuff, but they are gonna show you like one part there that the T-Rex eats a guy. But the thing is, they kind of like pander away, and you kind of see it happening in the background. But he's not like chewing on it, spitting it up in the air, ripping his shit out. No, you don't see that. You see him kind of like eating through the floor, like a dog would. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody's like, "Oh my god, the dinosaur ate the guy!" And they kind of like run away, and you don't see it ever again. But it's still some dark moments. There's a part there, of course, if for those who haven't seen this show, there's a character, and his name is Benny, and he's kind of like the nerd of the group, very shy, timid, oh my god, I gotta put on hand sanitizer because if not, the germs are gonna get me, type of thing, right? He's trying to save one of his buddies because the train is going off rails and a bunch of things gonna happen, so he does the most heroic thing possible to stop the train. And he's like, oh man, how cool. Like he stands there on a glass this glass train, dude. And all of a sudden, it just pans. There's a slow motion. A pterodactyl breaks into glass, grabs Benny by the shirt, and yanks him out. You're like, wait, what the fuck just happened? Like, dude, I'm telling you, this show is interesting. It's dark, and it's awesome. Like to watch. Like if you haven't seen something like this, you need to watch it. There's some parts that are kind of cartoony, but they touch real world shit there, and it's like you have to see it. And of course, back to what we were talking about, they came out with the season 2 trailer, and it doesn't explain nothing. All you know that there's somebody else in that island, and they're trying to survive because everyone evacuated from that island already, and they're left there alone. So now the thing is, in season 2 is who's alive, what's gonna happen. There's more T-Rex now because, of course, I think I had 3 T-Rex in the movie. Yeah, they encounter them also, and a bunch of other things. Wow, I'm just ready for this fucking shit.
Like I hear all the things that you're saying.
Yeah,
and it's like I feel like that the part of the scene in Finding Nemo.
Oh,
it's like he's trying to speak to me. I just know it.
Of course, but once you see it, you'll understand completely. I mean, it's not something that I will say that it's like, dude, you need to stop whatever you're doing and watch it. But it's a good, that you're doing something around the house or you're working, you have it playing there because it catches your attention. And there's some suspense in that movie. Show, excuse me. There's still suspense in that show, and a lot of things are happening within it that leaves you kind of like, man, what the fuck just happened? I can't just, what the fuck? Like, you're just in that what the fuck era. So yeah,
right.
It's a must.
Yeah, I don't know. Like me, because I fell off the whole Jurassic Park / World bus, so I don't really care about it as much as you do. But, geez, like, I didn't even know this was a thing.
No, but that's the thing. Like, I don't care about the movie. The movie itself, it kind of has me like, Like this new one that's going to come up soon. I forgot the last name, the name of this one. But
yeah, I know it's in Jurassic World. That's all I know.
Yeah, it's a Jurassic World movie. Whatever. I didn't really care too much. I was like, whatever. But this cartoon has some potential. Has some good potential to watch. Again, it touches feelings. It hits feelings.
The only thing I want is everything's happening, and all of a sudden, Chris Pratt's character comes in and says that he's looking for Gamora.
Oh God, let that happen.
Let the universes merge.
But guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining us on this podcast. And again, we just want to let you know, thank you so much for this wonderful year you gave us. All the new viewers, all the people that subscribe to us, everything. And we do this for you, and we take great pleasure in doing this and just having a great conversation with you guys. I can't wait for what's going to come up next year for us in movies and shows and stuff like that we're going to bring for you guys. But I just can't wait. Willie, do you have any final thoughts or words you want to bring up, for this last show for 2020?
I'm just happy to be along for the ride. This is fun to do, and I love talking smack about movies. And hopefully next year we do a lot more.
I agree. And hopefully we can hit some cons because, man, I want to hit some cons. I need it.
Yeah, I want people to talk about the favorite name that you butchered.
Which one?
Johnny
Depp.
No, that was me. I did that because I had to make an example out of you.
Yeah, but I don't care. But that fucking if they're gonna see it. It's just too fucking funny.
It was.
Yeah, it is. But guys, again, thank you so much for joining us. And again, make sure to hit like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button just to know when we have this amazing news, which is again 3 times a week. 2 video game podcasts at the beginning and the end of the week, and 1 movie podcast smack that in the middle. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you in 2021. Peace.
Ah.